Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark and Sarah today because Pam's somewhere in the sky.
She flew away.
Yeah, she'll be off for the next few days, but we'll have her back next week. We are covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Give us a listen at lydiamediallc.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
Like this question from Barry and Turner. Why do wombats poop in cubes? Well, Barry, that's an excellent question, and the answer is magic. Thank you.
I didn't know they pooped in cubes.
Cubes.
That's going to be weird.
Poop cubes.
Wandering around the woods looking for a cube to poop in.
Listen, I didn't write the question. Barry did.
Oh, okay, Barry.
Thank you for that. Today's show is brought to you by United Piping, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556. UPI,
the best plumbers around.
Also brought to you by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it. At 5 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com. And remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
And we are joined in studio today by the owner, founder, movement therapist, and performance coach at PRIME360. He's also the co-owner of the Smoothie Spot and was featured in the winter issue of LA Metro magazine. BJ Grondin, welcome to the show.
Thank you. My pleasure.
We are happy to have you. And for someone in your line of work, I get to guess that 7 o'clock is not too early for you.
No, I already had clients today.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I started at 6. I start at 6 every day.
Oh, boy.
And sometimes 5:30 in the morning.
Wow.
I also have a 3-month-old who likes to, he actually sleeps better than my almost 3-year-old. So busy is not the work. It's the
Yeah.
home, you know?
It's life.
So you're getting about 45 minutes of sleep a night.
Yeah,
Pretty much
absolutely.
on a good night.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We are going to talk to BJ all about PRIME360 and a whole lot more coming up here in just a bit. But before we get there, let's take a look at some headlines for Thursday, February 20th.
February.
You got it. You
Yep.
keep practicing.
8 more days. Snow removal continues in Auburn today on Turner, Whitney, Stanley, and Denison streets, as well as Lake Auburn Avenue. The streets have been posted, and residents should expect closures and detours. We'll keep that in mind. Vehicles parked in violation may be towed at the owner's expense.
Mancini's Italian Micro Deli opened yesterday at 5 Park Street in Lewiston, which is just around the corner from Blue Jays Coffee. The carryout and delivery operation will feature dozens of sandwiches, pastas, and desserts. Owner Evan Mancini said the deli will focus on fresh, traditional Italian food.
And when they say fresh,
They mean fresh.
I saw a photo posted on Facebook yesterday of the fresh pasta that they've been making there. So we're talking the real deal here.
Yeah, this isn't Chef Boyardee.
No.
This is Chef Evan Mancini.
I'm excited. The City of Lewiston and the Lewiston-Auburn Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce joined this afternoon's ribbon cutting for Kids Space Inclusive Childcare at 71 East Avenue in Lewiston. It's the city's first childcare facility designed to welcome children with and without special needs. The facility will accommodate up to 38 kids aged 6 weeks and older and is owned and directed by former public school educator Lisa Lynn Jones, who combines the comfort of home with the efficiency of a modern childcare center.
How awesome is that?
It's very awesome.
Yeah.
I love inclusivity.
The Auburn Police Department presents its 4th annual Skate with a Cop event tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Norway Savings Bank Arena in Auburn. The event is free and all kids are welcome. There will be free hot cocoa, raffles, giveaways, and an opportunity to meet Mission Working Dogs.
Oh, Christy will be there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I wonder if you can skate with the chief. Maybe you could have
Didn't you try last year?
a little chief chat. I had to work.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
I missed it. I missed the chief.
I'm sure he missed you.
Doubtful. Kind of a pain in his butt. Shall we talk about the weather?
Weather!
Today is cloudy with a high of 30 and a low of a very frigid 14. Sunny tomorrow and Saturday and cloudy on Sunday with highs in the 30s and lows in the teens.
Well, at least we have some stability. in the forecast as opposed to what we've had in the past couple
Yeah.
of weeks.
I might be able to actually work on my snowblower on Saturday. If I even need it for the rest of the winter, fingers crossed.
Sounds like good skiing weather to me.
It
does.
Yeah, you're
For
right.
those who ski.
Yeah, it does.
If you live in Maine, you need to ski. It's how you get through the winter.
Yeah.
I've lived in Maine for 40 years.
Never skied.
Never did French fries, never did pizza. I've eaten plenty of them. But, yeah. I don't know.
Take yourself right over to that little bunny slope at Lost Valley and give it a go.
I'm too uncoordinated
oh
to
my
ski.
gosh, that's not true at all.
It is. It's pretty true.
Look, I take my 2-year-old. She'll be 3 soon. I take her so I can take you down too.
Oh, great.
Yay!
A 2-year-old is a better skier than I am.
Oh,
That's good to know.
she's probably just had more practice.
That's true. That's true. In sports, the United States and Canada meet in the Four Nations Face-Off Championship game tonight at 8. And the Bruins are back in action on Saturday night against the Anaheim Ducks in Boston.
I'm excited for that game tonight.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect, but the first 9 seconds of the last one were really good.
Did you see that, BJ?
I heard about it. I did not see it.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if they can top that. I don't know if you can top 3 fights in 9 seconds.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
That's some good work right there.
That's a good work. We were at a hockey tournament over the weekend, and right here in Auburn for Asher, our goalie, and his game was at 7:20, and it was like right at the same time as the Canada-United States game, and so we were in the ice arena when it started, and Nick's on his phone, like he's watching Asher play, but he's looking at his phone, and he's like, "We are missing the best game ever!" And I was like, "We're watching our kid play hockey. Like, what are you doing?" It was so funny.
Those are the memories that Asher will treasure forever.
He didn't know. He was on the ice. He didn't even know we were looking.
Oh, he'll know when you tell him about it.
I won't tell him.
Sure you will.
No.
Or when he listens to the podcast.
That's right.
He'll be like, "You have a podcast?" Yeah. He's funny. No, we missed that. We missed that 9 seconds. We've watched it over and over again. The Celtics return from the All-Star break to take on the 76ers in Philadelphia tonight at 7.
Isaac White made 28 saves to lead Central Maine Community College men's ice hockey in a 4-1 win over Dartmouth College. CM women's ice hockey will visit Colby College tonight at 8:30.
The Maine Nordiques host the Johnstown Tomahawks tomorrow at 7:30 and Saturday at 7 at the Colisee. I'll be there Saturday
Singing the anthem.
singing the anthem.
The NA3 Nordiques will host the Norwich Sea Captains tomorrow at 3.
Bates College women's basketball will visit Amherst on Saturday for the opening round of the NESCAC playoffs.
On the high school scoreboard in boys basketball, Class D South semifinal, number 2 St. Dom's beat number 3 Telstar 47-28.
And in girls basketball at the Class A South semifinal, it was number 3 Gray New Gloucester over Marshwood 53-47. In the Class AA North semifinals, it was number 1 Oxford Hills over number 4 Bangor 53-41. And number 2 Cheverus beat number 3 Edward Little 53-41.
And in boys hockey, Lewiston beat Bangor Narragagus.
Narraguagus.
That's the one.
Yeah.
6-4.
It's like up in Washington County.
Usually, I will look up the pronunciation.
That's a tough one.
And when I was putting the news, weather, and sports together this morning, I saw that, and I'm like, I'm not sure of the pronunciation, but I hope Sarah gets it.
Yeah, it's up near Cherryfield.
All right.
In Washington County.
Good to
And
know.
the only reason that I know how to say it is because I've heard it many, many times
Sure.
because of basketball.
That is your news, weather, and sports. And right now, it is time for the podcast segment that is sweeping.
Sorry, I was taking a sip of coffee.
Oh, that's okay.
Sweeping!
It's like she's hanging me out to dry here. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
Let's take a look at FPBs for February the 20th, shall we?
Okay.
All right. We're going to start off with Rihanna,
Yeah.
who is 37 years old today. Any Rihanna fans in the house?
I like Rihanna.
Do you? Good. Okay.
She's always on at the gym. We were.
Oh, good workout tunes?
Yeah. We were all singing on Wednesday. What's today? Yesterday
Today's
morning.
Thursday.
Yeah, yesterday morning we were all singing, "We gotta go to work," after we finished our workout. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. Gotta go to work.
Do you know how many people it took to write that song?
No.
7.
Stop it.
7 people wrote the song Work.
Wow.
Rihanna is one of the best-selling recording artists of all time, with sales estimated at 250 million units globally.
Wow.
Wow.
She's quite an entrepreneur,
She
too.
sure is. Comedian Trevor Noah is 41 years old today.
I love Trevor Noah.
Former host of The Daily Show, which I think most people will know him from, right? Comedian Chelsea Peretti is 47, from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She plays Gina on
Oh, okay.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
She's also written for Parks and Rec and Saturday Night Live. And she has a stand-up special on Netflix, which is really good. Supermodel Cindy Crawford is 59 today. I think she's the OG supermodel.
I think so, too. I remember her from a Pepsi commercial.
Yeah. I think
Right?
it was a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah. And then she brought it back and did it again, and she looked almost exactly the same. What is a supermodel, though? Like, they have to have appeared on a certain number of magazine covers or something.
You're asking the
right?
wrong guy.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I do know that. Do you remember the video for the song "Freedom" by George Michael? When he had like 6 or 7 supermodels in there,
That's
and
right.
one of the models, Linda Evangelista, said, "We don't get out of bed for less than $10,000 a day."
Wow.
So I think that's when you reach supermodel status.
okay.
Yeah, there's probably a number attached to it.
So I'm close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we're all very close. Actor French Stewart from Third Rock from the Sun.
He's so squinty.
He played
He's so squinty.
Harry Solomon. Yeah, the squinty guy.
He's so squinty.
He is 61 years old today. And let's see, rounding out FPBs for February the 20th is Joel Hodgson.
Oh.
65 years old today. He is the creator of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
It's a great show.
Great show, and had some spin-offs as well that I'm a very big fan of.
Oh, yeah?
Riff Tracks.
Riff Tracks. That's
Yeah.
right. Yep.
So that's where I watch all my bad movies. There you go. Those are your FPBs for February the 20th.
Whether you want a sit-down meal or a grab-and-go, Pat's Pizza in Auburn offers delicious sandwiches, pasta, salads, and pizza at family-friendly prices. Pat's Pizza, serving the L.A. area since 1985. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 85 Center Street in Auburn. Online at patsauburn.com.
Now we shift focus fully to our guest in studio, BJ Grondin of PRIME360. BJ, I guess the first question is, what exactly is PRIME360?
Yeah, so we welcome people looking to basically enhance or change their lives. They come in with a goal, and we try to find the deeper why behind that goal. You know, a lot of people start with, if it's a, you know, we'll say general population is how we categorize certain people, everyday people.
Yep.
And a lot of people want to lose weight or look better. And we're like, okay, so why? You know, what is the intention behind that? And sometimes it's avoiding disease, living longer. Sometimes it's feeling better. And then we try to dive into, okay, what is feeling better? What's not feeling great? To try to get them from point A to point B. A big focus of ours is longevity. So we look at some of the science behind what is creating longevity in people. So we're trying to create, instead of supermodels, superhumans. So
All right,
I
I'm
want to be
interested.
superhuman.
So we try to include education with what we do. Everything is coached, so it's not a typical gym where you come in and work out on your own. It's a coach session. So you're coming in and getting guidance from one of our coaches. We do also work with a large number of athletes. That is a big passion of ours. I have a big athletic background. Not necessarily skill set wise for myself, but working with some people that are really good. And that's a lot of fun to take something that can be so specific and try to make it better.
How did you get into this line of work?
Great. So it started with engineering. So I was as much a mathlete as I was an athlete in high school.
Yeah.
So I was good at math, and what made sense was to go into engineering. So I did my first year in civil engineering at UMaine and was like, this isn't for me. I don't want to sit at a desk. So then I changed my major to get into this field. I wanted to work with athletes. And by the end of it, I decided, you know what, I want to work within strength and conditioning. And I had knee pain growing up from middle school through high school and through college, specifically in my left knee. I saw physical therapy for it probably 4 times. And the physical therapy that I saw was by the book. It was understanding, hey, we're going to do basically like iontophoresis, which is how they put medicine in through like basically electrical pads kind of deal, and rest for 8 weeks. I was like, okay. And then guess what? I feel better 8 weeks later because there was no stress going into the tissue. It did not, the tissue, it needed healing, yes, but the tissue was gonna get stressed in the same way because they didn't adjust and discover the biomechanical patterns that are causing the pain, the root cause.
Okay.
So to shift forward, I get done school, still have some knee pain off and on, and I go to this conference down in Boston, and I meet a gentleman named Logan Schwartz, who is the assistant strength and conditioning coach at the University of Texas. I met a handful of other people. I'm like, but he's talking, and he intrigues me. He says something that no one else is saying. So I go up to him after. I'm not shy, and I say, hey, why do you do it this way and not this way? He's like, oh, we do it that way too. I'm like, oh, so why do you do it both ways? And he basically goes down the route of variability. And then talking all, and I'm 1 year out of college, and I'm like, man, I didn't learn squat in college. I paid all this money.
I missed that day.
Yeah. And so I uproot my life, and I moved down to Texas to learn from Logan and Todd, the head strength coach. And Todd's now with the LA Clippers, and then I have another mentor with the LA Clippers, and I still stay in touch with them and try to learn from them. Some other interns that I was involved with are now big. So Dave is one of the interns there. He is basically Jared Goff's guy, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
And then my buddy Pat is one of my closest. He's my friend tour. So he's my really close friend who's also a mentor. So we were on the phone yesterday for a while, just chopping it up and talking shop. So anyways, we're at Texas, and one day into the internship, when we're actually doing our learning stuff, I'm like, hey, pick me. Show me what we're doing in our internship learning. And I haven't had knee pain since that day. And I was like, whoa. And it was addressing my ankle for my knee and getting down to the root cause of what was going on. We got into the hip as well. And then I started learning more, and so I've been able to keep it off. If it was just that one day, it wouldn't have stayed. Right. And I was like, okay, so I need to know everything that these guys know. So then from that day forward, my life has been a journey of education. Yep. And so it started off with knee pain, and now is helping people find the root cause, whether that's a root cause of health, or a root cause of pain, or a root cause of finding how we can increase athletic performance. That is a very short-winded answer for you.
The variable being that no two bodies are the same.
100%.
Yeah.
And we can't go by the book. We have to treat the person, not the injury. An injury is an insult to the body. So injury can be a metabolic injury. Yep. It can be a physical injury, an acute injury, a chronic injury. It can be any of that. So, and honestly, I'm surrounded in my network by people who are doing amazing things. Like Jason Burchell from Resilience PT is in our facility as well as a source writer. Suzette Moulton, who owns Hands to Heart Thai Bodywork, she's doing some amazing things with some clients in there as well. And it's just become this beautiful space. So
there's a big difference between being a movement therapist and a performance coach to owning and operating your own business. Right? What was that?
This has been my conversation for a long time now. This year's my year making that jump. Because actually, that's part of the reason I was on the phone with Pat, is looking at some certain coaching of people in the field. So potentially looking at, as of today, trying to make a jump into some business coaching in that world. I love coaching and working with my clients. It is what feeds me. It's what fuels me. When I see someone come in, and then we make a jump that day or after a few days, I am very happy. That feeds my soul, right? Mm-hmm. Running a business and being behind the scenes and looking at the numbers and all that stuff bores the crap out of me.
That's why you changed majors.
Exactly, right? Great. It is a hard jump. It's still a hard. I'm at a point now where I'm not the person taking the most sessions in the studio, and that is a shift as of January, and that is intentional, but hard for me. I do have people. The brand was built originally on me being the coach, and then we turned it into a business. And that business, we've been in business for a while. We've been in business for 12 and a half years now, but we've really been a business since we built our new facility in 2022, so 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. And that has been a hard challenge that is a hurdle, because I love coaching and I love leading my staff educationally and being on the cutting edge of what we do. But figuring it out from a business standpoint is we're still on that journey.
Yeah. Can you tell us about the name? How you came up with the name PRIME360?
I moved home from Texas. I wasn't going to stay home. I was on the route to become the best strength and conditioning coach in college basketball. That I wanted to be in college basketball and do that. I did not want to be in the pros. I wanted to be in college where I was. Moved home, had some family health issues, and decided, you know what? This is where I want to be. I'm going to create the world here. So I'm like, I'm going to start a business here. All right, what do I call this thing? And I knew from the beginning I didn't want to brand it on my name. I didn't want to be BJ Grondin or Grondin, whatever. I did not want that because I wanted it to grow larger than me. So I knew that early on, and it became PRIME360, and it's been PRIME360. We have not rebranded the name. We've rebranded logo, stuff like that. And it became because it stands for performance and restoration in movement enhancement through 360 degrees of motion.
Who knew?
So we're still focusing
yeah.
on performance and restoration, or kind of our version of rehabilitation.
Did you come up with that on your own, or was that a team effort, or what happened there?
It was mostly me just sitting down and figuring it out. But I did have a friend who was helping me get launched. His name is Jeremy Callahan, and he was helping me get going early on. And then he moved away, and then he moved back. And so when he moved back, it was like, hey, you helped me with this avenue. Let's go into business together. And he's my original co-owner of the Smoothie Spot. We have since brought our wives and another woman, Jackie, into that ownership pool. But him and I started that. So he was the originator to help me kind of come up with that. And then now we've launched the Smoothie Spot together, which is also in Virginia, where he moved back to again. So we have multiple locations in Virginia and one here in Maine.
Neat.
So.
What types of people are coming to see you at PRIME360? Who is seeking out your services?
A lot of people that start come with the intention to feel better from pain or an injury. They may be active already, and they want to feel better. They want to get out of pain, and then they've heard of what we've been able to do. We're terrible at marketing. So our one advertisement we have is through Lydia Media here through the LA Metro magazine. Yeah, that's it. We don't pay for ads on social media or anything like that. We hardly are on social media. Yeah. It's something we're working on. But as you guys mentioned early on, like pre-show, the busyness in my world. So it's finding the team members to be able to do that. And that's where, stepping back from coaching and leading the team to figure out business is my goal. We see a lot of athletes looking to get better at their sport. It's not people that want to get big. We do not see people that are in the bodybuilding world. That is not our realm. That is for other gyms in the area do have that model and that theme. We understand movement. So if we are isolating tissue and muscles, we will grow that muscle. But we will not necessarily, we will make it stronger. But I want to focus on strength over growth, which is very different but can be aligned. I also want to focus on power out of that strength, which has a component of speed in there as well. Mm-hmm. So getting like my nerdy math side, the physics side of that has time in the equation twice and mass in the equation once. So if we decrease the time, that is significantly more productive for us. And then that turns into, so those are our athletes, but it turns into our general population as well, because who doesn't want to be more powerful? The more powerful we are, the more efficient we are. And life is about efficiency. That's what helps us live longer. Mm-hmm. That's what helps us perform at our daily tasks better. If it takes, I'm going to get a little nerdy with the power stuff here, but if it takes you, 100, if you can work at 100 watts to do an activity, and I can only output 50 watts at our max to do that activity, and then the activity calls for 50 watts, I'm working at my max and you're only spending 50%. You are more powerful. So you can then, if I'm looking at a marathon runner, if that marathon runner can get more powerful, yes, we need the endurance components as well, but if we can increase that power output, that's going to directly enhance the endurance aspect as well, because they're not going to have to outwork at such a high percentage. Sorry if that was...
No, that was great. It's fascinating.
It sounds very detail-oriented, and it sounds not necessarily like you specifically work with athletes. Like I have the impression that you also do like some functional fitness. Like you're making sure that people are not falling and breaking a hip too.
Yes.
You're doing all of that like through bone density work and strengthening and stuff.
100%. Yeah. And real function is our name. Function got a buzzword when I was getting into this field. It became so I've kind of shifted away from using the word function, but we want to look at true function. Actually, our basis of education comes from applied functional science, which is a Gray Institute term. And it talks about how the body truly functions upright in space. When we look at what we learned in anatomy class in college, it was, hey, our hamstring flexes the knee. Well, I dare you to get up and squat, and your knee will flex. And you tell me if your hamstring did that or if gravity did that and your hamstring's helping decelerate that, right? So there's a ton of nuances within this that we look at every joint in the body and how it truly functions, how we work in gait. And then there is a time and a place for this isolation. There is a time and a place where there is a discrepancy, and we try to measure that and then address that to then get into the global functional movements that we create. But yeah, our world is function. We even have it on our wall. Train movements, not muscles. Our muscles are not meant to be engaged intentionally. If you grab your coffee cup and you grab that, you're not like, hey, I have to produce 5 pounds of force to lift this and do a bicep curl and then move here with the wrist. If we're doing that, that's not function. That's teaching your body engagement of the tissue, which is valuable and functional in some instances. But in the global function, your proprioceptors react and say, oh, this is this much tension on this tissue. I know how much load to apply.
Yeah.
And
this is
you
where
don't
I
have
am
to think
in time
about
and
it.
space.
100%, yeah. So it's really fun and getting down into the nerdiness of that that I love, and educating our staff through to then bleed that into our clientele and our community.
Cool.
And you're currently accepting new clients?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can go to PRIME360training.com if you would like to learn more. And BJ was featured in the winter issue of LA Metro Magazine under the heading, It's Not in Your Head. And this piece deals with seasonal affective disorder or depression.
Yeah. So I have a big passion in the mental health world and understanding that. There's a great book, Spark, that tries to address it with children in the Chicago public schools. So in the Chicago public schools, they take kids and they do 0-hour PE, and they do PE before school. And this is looking more at less the emotional world with the depression, but a lot into the world of test scores and how we can get students active before school and before educational lessons to increase their testing scores to get schools to buy in. And then it goes into using exercise as an effective treatment for anxiety and depression, just as effective as prescription medication in some instances. Yeah. And I recommend reading the book to get the actual numbers of what that is rather than taking my word for it. Because I'm running off of memory here, and a couple kids, lack of sleep, and concussions. We don't want to trust that fully at this point. I don't have the notes with me. So looking at that, I think that should be addressed. I've lived in Maine most of my life, besides my stint in Texas, and understanding how I see people come through. We're surrounded by artificial light, and there is a lot of science behind that and how that can affect us. So getting out in natural light, if we can't do that because we're in a society that needs us to be inside a fair amount of time, and who wants to go out in negative wind chill temperatures the other day, right? So how do we get this light in the world?
Right now.
Is it that cold right now, too?
So cold.
It was in the single digits.
All right.
This morning.
You're living in your own little world.
Yeah. Well, I like the outdoors, right? So, we walk our dog every day, no matter the temperature. So, we bundle up sometimes, but I think it's important to be outside. Yes. I really push that.
Natural sunlight,
we live in Maine. This is going to sound, semi-harsh. We're not the boot campy type at PRIME360, like, kick your butt. We want to have compassion for people, but toughen up. You live in Maine. Yeah. You live here and understand that you will adapt. We're adaptable creatures. If we just put yourselves in that environment, your body will adapt. That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's what my whole job is creating adaptations in people's bodies. So you learn to get outside and you will adapt. We invested in an infrared sauna years ago because we found out that can help people with this. One, via warmth and how that can help us. But also we have lights on the inside, so you can pick certain light colors, chromotherapy. That's a part of it. So we invested in a good one for that. We do a terrible job of marketing it. So a lot of people, we had clients that we had for a couple of years that said, do you guys have a sauna? We're like, yeah, we do. It's right in this room. So we actually put a little sign on that said sauna now.
Through that door right there.
Yeah.
That's good marketing.
Yeah, great.
Right in-house marketing.
So we started saying, okay, we need to tell people about this more because it's a great tool, and we don't charge a lot for it. It's fairly cheap for people to come use. We want to help the community. We want them to feel better. If they feel better, then maybe they'll move more. Not necessarily with us, but on their own as well. We want people to understand that you need to move every day, and to come see us every day is not necessarily feasible. So we want you to go to the gym. We want you to do these other things. We want to be here as a tool for you to do that. I also look at metabolism and its role in anxiety and depression. And we as a society in America, but I look at our local community and we have a lot of places where it's easy to insult our metabolism, injure our metabolism. Mm-hmm. It's not very easy to find places where you're going to get handmade pasta, right?
Right.
We're going to get the Chef Boyardee stuff, right? So finding quality places to eat is not necessarily easy in this community. So that actually was what drove me to create the Smoothie Spot, to have something convenient and quick that people can get and increase our metabolism. A lot of people don't understand that we as a society really don't eat enough. People think we overeat, and we do. Of the wrong food. We need probably as much food as we're eating, typically as a society, but of real food. So can we make that shift to real food? Take quality over quantity, but understand a lot of people are like, oh, I know how to lose weight. I just, I'll eat less, exercise more. How has that treated us since 1960? Not well.
No.
We've gotten worse, right? We understand now, looking at books like Burn by Dr. Herman Ponzer, a researcher out of Duke, that we're under-eating. We are under-eating our food, and we don't have to be scared of carbs. We need to put real food in our body, and that's where I'm pushing, like the fruit from the Smoothie Spot, things like that. The Smoothie Spot isn't there as a business to have me be an entrepreneur. That is there for me and the community to have a convenient way to get our food. And we just need people to understand we need more real food. Our body is asking for food, and when it's underfed, our metabolism is reactive and it slows down. And there's some good research showing that it looks as if we actually shrink our organs to decrease our basal metabolic rate. There are 4 ways that we really burn energy, BMR being the biggest one, how much we burn just by living if we were to just sit here. And we're understanding that if we're eating at what our BMR is and then we're exercising, our body thinks that we're running from a lion or what's the animal?
Capybara, but you would never ever have to run from a capybara.
You run
towards a capybara.
But you're still running there, right?
But you're running. Yeah.
So your body thinks that, hey, this is a survival technique, so I'm going to slow everything else down so I can make it away and survive.
Hold on to it, not let it go.
So we're going to store it. So people don't understand, when we eat more, we can actually lose weight by eating more food. And yes, we do need to be in a caloric deficit in order to lose weight, but eating more may allow your body to get that caloric deficit, because now you may trigger your metabolism to get that basal metabolic rate up. You may not be as cold because your body's going to have better thermogenesis.
You won't be as tired.
You will not be as tired. Calories are literally a unit of energy. Mm-hmm. And if you are decreasing your calories, you are literally decreasing your energy. Do not be afraid of them. And science has shown that our metabolism does not significantly decrease between the ages of 20 and 60. At 60 is when we actually start to decrease our metabolism. And this is menopause included. People think our metabolism slows in menopause, and there is that little bit of nuance there. But in reality, science is saying, no, it's our reactivity to the way we treat our bodies that it doesn't allow it to be in a state to be well.
This feels like an intervention for me.
I appreciate the help.
Sorry, not sorry.
I appreciate the help. We've been having this conversation for 4 years.
But at least.
Well, I just put out a little series, so maybe I'll grab your email after, Mark, and it's to anyone that's on our email list. You don't have to be a client, and it was talking about the steps to success. So I wrote about success and spoke about success I was a local graduation speaker recently, and it was about how to be successful and how you define success. And then it was really, to me, the aspect of, I'm speaking to these kids, and it's like, well, everyone needs this. And I don't define success financially. Personally, I am defining success about my family life, my quality of life, and my happiness.
I agree 100%.
So I can but some people want to define it by money, and that is okay. I want you to determine what is successful for you. And if you want to be successful, whatever you want to be successful at, I came up with this one day just after talking to a client. I was just sitting there. I had a few minutes. It's like, I think there are 3 ingredients to success. And so I wrote about it and sent it to all my clients. It's discipline, energy, and education. So you need to be disciplined. That is where so if you want to be the best podcaster, you want to be the most financially successful, you want to be the healthiest person in the world, you need discipline to reach that. And that means doing things when you don't want to, because it's what's going to get you there. And then you need to put energy into it. So you need to eat well, to get there, but you need to mentally put energy into that well. If I want to be the best business owner, I need to transition my energy into that. But I also want to be a really good dad. So I know that I am not going to be the absolute best business owner and be the most financially successful because I'm not willing to take away my husband and dad role. So I need to put energy where it needs to be. And for me, I need to be structured to do that. I need to really schedule my time. And then the last piece is education. You have to be educated in that, and you have to put energy into that education. You have to be disciplined in finding that education and put that effort forth to make that a priority in your life if you want to be successful. Now, if you don't want to be successful in that, then that's fine. But if you do, then take those 3 ingredients and put some time into that. And then once that energy and education is there, if you keep the discipline, you can then transition that energy into other places. So I put energy into health first, because then that is going to be everlasting energy that I can put into other things.
We were chatting a bit before the show, and I told you that 10 years ago, I was in the best shape of my life. I was getting up at 4:30 in the morning on a Saturday to go run a 5K in January in Scarborough. That was who I was. I was signing up for everything, and I was in the best shape of my life at 44 years old. Then I got Lyme disease and couldn't do anything for the better part of 6 months and just never got back into it. And I know that when I was running, when I was active, everything was better in my life, not just my health. Everything was better.
So let's go back to the beginning of the podcast here where you were asking what we do, and it's diving down in the deep why. You were better. So why now? Why not now?
Exactly.
Right? Is the Lyme disease... I mean, that's the question. Is the Lyme disease still present? Is it still a limitation?
No,
okay. Let's put in the discipline.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's what's lacking.
No, I'm saying no. Let's do it right now. When are you starting? When are you going to get started?
Yeah.
Because no coach can do it for you. So we're coaches. Coaches, if you look at the word coach, it arrived from getting someone from point A to point B. It is like the old horse and carriage coach. That is what coach comes from. That's what my mentor Todd taught me. And that is our role, is to get people from point A to point B. But I need to know what point B is. And then I can't pull the coach. We need that horse there, and that is the person. You are in charge. Yeah. And a lot of people, we talk about mindset and things like that. In our society, we play the victim mindset. Oh, this happened to me, that happened to me, right? The Lyme disease. And not to say that that didn't happen to you. That is very real. But now you get to be in complete control. And in the state of our world, one of our clients was posting how hard it was to get an appointment. She's like, take care of yourselves out there. We have the power to take care of ourselves. Do not rely on other people. Step up now, start taking care of yourself, and you will see everlasting benefits from that.
Yeah.
I think for Mark, a lot of it has been a mental block of fear of that.
That first step.
Not even the first step, but just like that pain and the remembering, you need to get past that, that feeling of recovering from Lyme.
It's not even that.
No.
I only mention Lyme disease because I know that's where it stopped.
That was the trigger.
Right.
If it wasn't for Lyme, I would still be running.
Right.
There's no doubt in my mind, but I know that's where it stopped. Mm-hmm. And I'm not using that as an excuse. I just know that's where it ended. And I never got back into it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not overweight.
Right. You're a very healthy person.
I look like I'm healthy because I eat well. My wife is a tremendous cook, and I eat very healthy, but that's where it ends. Mm-hmm. I just need, and I know I need to get back into exercise.
And that's probably the biggest thing is the nutrition.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's not lacking.
Person.
But we've learned a lot more about fitness so health can be there with nutrition, but longevity. We need, if we want to live better longer, not even just live longer, but there is science saying you'll live longer, but live better longer too. So if say my shelf life is 90 and I want to extend it to 100, I got to do certain things. And then if my shelf life is 90 and 80 to 90 is rough, but now I can extend my shelf life to 100 and I can extend my viable shelf life to 95.
Yeah.
Now I've gained really 15 years of life, not 10. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want people to do, is because time is fleeting. Yeah. I want time with my grandkids and my great-grandkids. Mm-hmm. I know I want that. I'm a family man. I grew up in a very large family, and I want that in my life. And so that is why it's so important.
I'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will.
I've been telling Sarah for 4 years.
No, well, we did. We signed up for the Dash for Dogs.
We did.
When is that?
It's in April.
April.
April 27th, I think.
Great. I think March 1st is a great start date for you, Mark.
All right. That sounds good.
Okay.
Just something.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. And
Doesn't have to be a big step.
I was doing, we have a treadmill in the garage, and I was doing that regularly. and then winter hit, and I'm like, well, can't do that anymore. That's over.
Chilly out there in the
and
garage.
I'm big on accountability. I know it is 100% me.
Yeah.
I'm not making excuses. It is 100% me, and it's taking that first step and getting there. But anyway, enough about me.
You can do it.
He can. I know he can.
Yeah, we have faith.
I do want to mention Pam for a second because I know Pam was disappointed she couldn't be here today. You've known Pam for a long time.
Really long time, yeah.
Yeah, and she was excited when she saw you on the calendar for the podcast, and then was like, "Oh, I can't be there."
Yeah.
But and Pam's been a client of yours, right?
Yes. So when I first started, I was fresh out of college, pre-internship down in Texas, and I was doing, just getting started. And I had a gig down in Westbrook at Train Main. And I was an independent contractor. And I was like, hey, I'm going to start some stuff, on the side up in, my neck of the woods because I have people asking for it. So I started after school at the schools with the teachers. And I would run like a boot camp class, like a fitness class at Elm Street School in Minot Consolidated. And Pam at the time was affiliated with Elm Street School. And so she came to that. So she was one of my early on clients. And then I moved to Texas. And then I come home, and then she signed back up, and we did some different things. I had changed the whole methodology because I had learned so much more of what I want to do for people. I don't want to crush them with a boot camp. Science says this is not good. We are aging people. So I, brought her in as one of my early adopters to the new model of what we're trying to do with this true functional side.
BJ, what's the most rewarding aspect of your profession?
Oh, man, there are three answers.
You can only have one.
It sounds like, so my daughter at dinner naturally asks, what was the best part of your day today, Daddy and Mommy?
I love
and
that.
what was Hayes, who's our 3-month-old, what was Hayes' best part of his day? And what was Hoopy, our dog's best part of his day? And so we're always
Your dog's
usually...
name is Hoopy?
Hooper, but we call him Hoopy.
Oh, my.
Yep.
What is it?
He is an Alaskan Husky Terrier and Great Pyrenees mix. So he's a rescue dog.
Is he big?
No, we thought when we found out he's Pyrenees, we're like, oh boy. But he's like 60 pounds. So
He's a perfect size.
he is phenomenal. And he is the best boy. He's a gym dog. So he comes in the gym with us and he's so cute. He's adorable.
That's how you get Mark to start working out with you.
There we go.
Show him a picture of Hoopy, and he'll be there.
What a great name, though.
Yeah.
So, my wife was a professional basketball player, and I'm big in the basketball world. So when I was at University of Texas, I was with the men's basketball program doing strength and conditioning. She played pro ball. So basketball is our world. Our first date was at a UNH NIT women's basketball game. I was training one of the athletes on UNH, and so we went to the NIT game. That was our first date. So basketball has been our world, and so our first child, our dog was our first child, and so we called him Hooper.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
See, I wouldn't call him Hooper. I'd call him Hoopa. From Jaws. Hoopa.
yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
So to answer your question,
I got sidetracked.
the rewarding,
You bring
that
up
was my
dogs,
fault.
and that's where we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I have three. I love my client aspect. I love having a client walk in the door with something going on and then leaving feeling better, whether that's in pain or just their energy or just coming in and finding success that day and being happy leaving. That is really fun. That was always my answer. My next most rewarding part is now we have a phenomenal staff. I have some great coaches on board. Seeing them find that gives me just as much joy. And then leading them, transitioning to a leader of other leaders has been really fun and rewarding. Challenging, but fun and rewarding. And then the flexibility that I'm allowed now that we have kids and I get to be with my kids.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I have really good coaches. So now I work really early in the morning and I miss every morning with my wife. She takes care of both kids in the morning. And I am so grateful for her for that. We're an amazing team in that way. She works in the afternoon, so I get the kids in the afternoon because her basketball stuff. She runs a basketball business, so she works with the kids after school. So I'm with the kids out in the afternoon. So her and I, finding time together is difficult, and we're playing that game. But being able to have the afternoons now, because I used to have to work the morning and the afternoon with stuff, and so that is the really cool aspect of this now too. So it's hard not to have those three answers because I still have the original, and then there's two more components that I know come aboard.
You get up every morning just loving what you do.
Yeah, if you love what you do for work, you never work a day in your life. I think that's
right.
like a Confucius thing. So yeah, there are moments that I work, right? But most days I'm having fun.
Nice.
Awesome. BJ, is there anything else about yourself or PRIME360 that you would like our listeners to know? I know it's a loaded question.
Yeah,
but
I just want to, I want to use this platform to educate people because that's our thing. So I'm working on scaling our availability of educational resources. So hang on tight over the next year as I try to work on that. If you are a client or looking to become a client, and we're trying to create this environment for people in this community. Bear with me as I work on business because we're trying to grow. We are growing. We are accepting new clients, but right now it's the after work hours when we're getting a lot of leads, and we are fairly full. And so I am working on hiring right now. I want people to be successful. I want to transform. Sorry, that sounds very ego. I want this. I would love for the community to transform from a health perspective, seeing what we have. I mean, it's, I love the local businesses here. Can we get more healthy options here? Can we vote with our dollars every day? So regardless of your political affiliation, how you vote that way, every choice you make every day with how you spend your money is a vote. That is economy. So if you go to the healthier places, more will pop up. Sad that a few places have gone out of business recently here. And, I want our community to invest in their health and to invest in the places that are trying to invest in their health. So go to the healthy places, go to the true healthy places and support them, to the people doing good things to help you with your well-being, and it will in turn create a change in the community. We can't do it just by me owning a business of PRIME360 or the Smoothie Spot, whatever, and saying, hey, go do this. We as a community have to come together and say, this is what we want, and go vote with that dollar every day.
Locally owned and locally focused, Lydia Media celebrates the heart of the greater Lewiston-Auburn area through 2 magazines, Uncle Andy's Digest and LA Metro Magazine, and the new Lydia's Lunch Bunch podcast. Each production shines a positive light on local businesses, nonprofits, events, and individuals making a difference in our community. Keep your advertising dollars local and position your business in front of your target audience with Lydia Media. Learn more at LlydiaMediaLLC.com. We like to end the show with a segment called 3 Random Questions.
Oh, boy.
Where we get to know you as a person a little
Great.
bit outside of PRIME360. I'll start. BJ, if there was a movie made about your life up to this point, what would be the one scene that people remember?
Whew, that is a hard question. The one scene that people remember.
Or the highlight. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're...
If it's the highlight for me, what I would want people to remember is the moment I became a dad. I knew when I was 18 I wanted to be a dad, and then it took me a long time to meet the right person to do this journey with, to become a dad and be a family. But there are a lot of comedic moments in my world that would probably be more highlights of people that they'd actually remember. Yeah. So the heartwarming people would be when I became a dad. The comedic people would be laughing at my mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. But that's how you get successful. You got to fail.
Yeah.
You got to fail to get success.
That's how you learn.
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Yeah, maybe. No.
No one's ever ready for Sarah's questions.
Sometimes my questions are hard. This one's not hard. What is the most random fact that you know?
Ooh, I don't remember.
Then you don't know it.
Yeah.
Well,
you learned one today, that wombats poop cubes.
That probably has to be it right now.
Right now, at this moment.
Yeah, so I have a really bad memory. Anyone that truly knows me, I have a really bad memory. So, the movie about me, I had a couple concussions really close back to back, and I've had some unique moments from that in my life. So that is an excuse. And when I get more stressed and more on my plate, my memory is worse, as is anyone else.
Do you remember that we told you that wombats poop square?
And then it got turned into cubes, and then they poop in cubes. So I'm following so far today. Now you asked me what I have for breakfast, and then we're a little too far back.
It's too far.
Yeah.
It's a far afield. I understand.
Yeah. That was so you said it wasn't hard, but for me that was a hard question. I think it has to be the cube poop right now.
That's is that yours too, Mark?
Probably.
Yeah. Mine is the fact that I know what SCUBA stands for.
Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus.
You guys all watched Family Ties too?
No.
That's the only reason I remember it.
But it's because PRIME360 is an acronym. So whenever I tell anyone it's an acronym, and they're like, oh, what? And I'm like SCUBA stands for self-contained. So that's always my...
Yep. Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus.
Yep.
Yeah. I just want to throw in that when BJ said that learning about wombats today was his most random fact that he knows. I got a little warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah.
Good.
I contributed somehow. All right, BJ, final question. If you could have dinner with anyone, past or present, who would it be and why? Healthy dinner.
Yes. Has to be a healthy dinner. Gosh. It's going to be... There's two on my list. Either Michael Jordan or Tom Brady. And it's because of their success and their competitiveness, how they reached such a pinnacle, what they did to truly get there. And so Michael Jordan and Tom Brady have put a lot out about that in their world of what made them different. And I want to know what was the secret ingredient, because once you reach the pinnacle, Aaron Rodgers talks about this, would be another one in a recent documentary. He reached like the MVP status, and it's like, okay, it's done. Okay, I got there. What next? And defining yourself by when you reach the top, that pinnacle, it wasn't everything for them. It was the journey, right? So what defines this person? How do you cut out the noise of what other people think and things like that to have that confidence? I don't have that fully. I want to be more in that realm of like, yeah, whatever. I don't care what everyone else thinks. I want to put this out there and whatever. That would be, so I'd want to know what was their driving factor, because I'm very competitive, but I haven't reached the pinnacle. I'm no Michael Jordan or Tom Brady in our world. So how can I, if I wanted to get there, if I wanted to have the discipline, energy, and education, what were their ingredients to success?
All right, if you had to choose one.
Jordan.
Jordan. All right.
Jordan, the original.
Basketball is life.
That's right. That's right. You can bring Hoopy along too.
There we go.
BJ, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
this was awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll make sure that the next time you come on, we have Pam here as well.
All right, great.
Yeah, I'm sure she would love that. You can learn more about BJ and PRIME360 in the latest winter issue of LA Metro Magazine under the heading It's Not in Your Head. And if you'd like more information, you can go to prime360training.com and the Smoothie Spot as well. Does that have a website?
Yes, the smoothiespot.com or the smoothiespotme.com.
Gotcha. Go check it out, folks. We would like to thank our sponsors for today, Ruper's Beverage and Redemption and United Piping. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you tomorrow with our weekend preview.